What's going on, everyone? So I am here with a little bit of a different build of Luke. Now, we normally see Luke green, but this kind of parallels the Ray red discard deck that a lot of people like to play here in the meta. I've toyed around with a Luke red deck in set 1. Of course, we saw how powerful the kind of the force synergies with like Cheer It Red and Force Throw and Yodas and Jedi lightsabers, but it didn't quite make it. With the new addition of a couple of cards that Ray Red likes to play, well, Luke also benefits from them very similarly. There's a couple of advantages to Luke compared to Ray, and a couple of disadvantages. So I want to talk you through it, go through some games, and share why I've been enjoying some Luke Red lately. If you want to pick up any of the cards I'm going to talk about today, or any of the cards in Star Wars Unlimited, I have a TCG player link in the description down below. Go ahead and use it. It helps me out as well as helps you out. Let's talk Luke and what we got going on with the leader here. Now, again, this parallels Ray Red quite a lot. We have an action to pay 1 and exhaust Luke to give a shield token to a heroism unit you played this phase. So similar to Ray, we have a 1 costed action, and we kind of give some value to our units. But in Luke's case, it must be this turn, which is a significant downside, but we can play around this, and it allows us to be a little bit more comfortable with some upgrades. Whereas Ray, just getting some experience tokens still makes them susceptible to various different just damage sources. Shield tokens can make things a lot safer for Jedi lightsabers or devotions or things like that. He's a 6 deploy leader, but he comes out as a 4/7, which can be quite strong. One of the big things about this is that it allows you with the base power here to actually one-shot Ray with many of the upgrades we are running, which is pretty nice. And not just Ray, but all the leaders that have 7 toughness, which Ray has a little bit of a hard time doing. Let's walk through the list and talk about some of the things that you might be used to from set 1 in terms of Luke, and maybe some new things from set 2. So first thing, let's talk about some of our early units. We got 3 copies of R2. One of the, better plays here on turn 1. It becomes a 1/4 shielded, but what's really nice about it is we can set up our further draws, and in a deck like this it's actually really important because we don't have many ways to kind of draw into a lot of cards. Instead, we're kind of just relying on valuing our opponent and just getting some nice trades in, and then relying on drawing the cards that we need. So R2 helps with that. We got A-Wings and Sabine Wrens. These are just high value turn 1 plays that allow us to trade in with a lot of different things. In Sabine Wren's case, it can remove shield tokens before, which is really cool. We also have Queel and Ketsu Onyo. Queel helps us draw cards, a little bit more defensive units. And then Ketsu Onyo, this is sometimes just the most broken card you ever come up against, defeating experience, shields, whatever it is. Really good against Ray, really good against Tarkin, that type of stuff. And just overall a solid unit. In our 3-drop slot, we got ourselves some Yodas and Concord Dawn Interceptors. Yodas helps with the force package, but also is just a nice value unit. High toughness, restore 2. Concord Dawn Interceptors, this is the defensive part of our space kind of force, because we don't really have space units besides the A-Wing. So Concord Dawn Interceptors helps us kind of stall that out. And the way we deal with force space units is later on in the game, we have Rivals Falls and other ways to deal with it. After that, we got ourselves some 4-drops. We got Kanans and K2s. Again, Kanan helps with the Force theme. K2 is just a high value 4-resource play. Could have played like, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name, but whatever, the Costco Reeves, that's what it is. The other 4-drop, 4/5, that gets some damage in if it's upgraded, which is kind of nice. In our 5-drop slot, we got Poe Damerons and not Obi-Wans, but Poe Damerons, a really high value play that if it comes out on 6, it can also be shielded, which is really cool, but also it's just hard to deal with when you are kind of playing these more value oriented, more defensive kind of controlling units in the early game. Poe Dameron can come down and just do some major work. Obi-Wan's really important. I've just been super impressed with Obi-Wan in general, not just in Luke or Ray or anything like that. It's just a huge sentinel that gives you value when it dies, which usually goes onto your leader when it's 6 to deploy. Super valuable. And then to finish off the list, we got some Lukes and a Crate Dragon. Luke, just a high value unit, acts as removal in this deck that can hit space units, which is usually pretty important. And then 1 copy of Crate Dragon, because there are some games that goes a lot longer, and in those games, drawing a Crate Dragon into the late game can be just game winning. That's something that you can also put more into the sideboard if you're interested in, but Crate Dragon, one of them in the main deck. In terms of some upgrades and events that we got going on, Upgrades. We got Luke's lightsaber, Jedi lightsaber, and devotion here, all in the deck. Jedi lightsaber and Luke's lightsaber, really good on Luke, and it helps us kind of one-shot the leaders, which is really nice. This can also be attached to Yoda's, Kanan's, the big Luke's, all of which get massive value from the lightsabers. And in some cases, you even put it on like, well, a Sabine Wren or a Queel, and you just get some nice trades in. Devotion's really nice to put on a unit with a shield token, which does happen very frequently. You know, you can go like turn 1, play a R2 shield, turn 2 devotion, and that suddenly is a 2/5 shielded, which with restore 2, which ends up being hard to deal with. You could also just put it on like your A-wings and stuff, which also can be very good. And then we also have, as I said, some events. We have Force Throw, nice part of the discard package, with Kanan's, Yoda's, it can hit stuff. Force is with me, just one copy. It's really good when we have the Force units, but of course it's kind of whatever when we don't. And it acts as sort of like a pseudo removal card with the Kanans and Yodas and such. We have Pillages. This is one of the reasons why I decided to run Luke Red, as Pillage has just been really impressive to me in the meta based on what we're fighting against. It's a lot of aggro and it's a lot of like these ramp decks, and Pillage really, really does good against the ramp decks because they're focused on ramping. They keep the more expensive cards in hand. You make them discard and suddenly they don't have enough cards in their hand to deal with your early threats, ramp, and prepare for the future. And then lastly, we have Rival's Fall. And this is a really important card as it helps us kind of knock down specific leaders just immediately or deal with specific threats that have been pumped up a lot. So what we have in advantage compared to Rey is we have a lot more protection for our units, and we have a little bit more kind of value for our upgrades and a more powerful leader, but we don't have as much restore and we don't have as much power in our early game units because of our action being more oriented towards defensiveness. So we'll see how this performs, and hopefully we get in a couple matches against Rey Red and see how the kind of, well, mirror, so to speak, goes. Without further ado, let's dive into some games and check out some Luke Red. Into our first matchup, let me move myself over to the right-hand side. Seems like a reasonable hand. Probably going to go ahead and resource this Obi-Wan and Devotion. We're going to go R2 turn 1 into shield token, and then there's a chance that they put a bounty on it and then boss ping the shield token away, which would be, well, somewhat unfortunate, but, well, there's not too much that we can do about that. Let's just go ahead and give it a shield token. They're going to ping it off with Bosk almost assuredly. And then we can go ahead and get down a Yoda. Concord down interceptors doesn't really look particularly strong here. They're going to want to play to the ground here because of the price on your head. Let's see what they have to follow up. They could have like an open fire or something, which would be pretty nice for them. They're going to deal 1 damage, and we're going to play a Yoda. And then we're going to see what they decide to do. They could ECL out like a reputable hunter or a phase 3 dark trooper. That would be excellent for them. They have a couple of options, no doubt about it. Double price on your head, huh? Okay. Let's claim initiative. And there is a Kanan, huh? Let's just go ahead and attack in with Yoda first. They're going to deal a damage to R2. Let's go ahead and attack with R2. I'm going to top the pillage. And then we're going to go ahead and... Whoa. They're ECLing out Super Laser Technician. Okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and play a Kanan. They're going to get down a Bosk. And they're going to be able to double claim this Yoda. So they're going to ramp pretty hard here, which is pretty sweet. I love it. That's awesome. What a sweet, sweet, sweet kind of interaction there. And we're going to start off by just force throwing them. Get rid of cards in their hand. They could play a Crate Dragon here, and if they do, that's pretty rough for us, no doubt. That's a Maul. And we're just going to go ahead and pillage them. Get rid of both their cards in hand. They had an Quinton's Assault Carrier. We get to Tarkin Town their Maul, and I mean, we're in a pretty nice spot here. Not really all that scared. Luke's lightsaber can be pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this K2. We're just going to go ahead and play a Poe Dameron. And then I'm going to deploy Luke. And we're going to force throw myself. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm gonna just go ahead and hit boss, give a shield token to the Podameron. I was thinking that I would want to force throw myself to kill the Django, but I don't think that's really all that necessary. Ooh, Crate Dragon, huh? Okay, that's honestly not that bad. We're just gonna hit the Crate Dragon, give another shield token to the Podameron. And we're gonna be able to go ahead and attack Crate Dragon. We can discard probably this Jedi lightsaber to make them discard. Oh wait, I wanted to attack, defeat an upgrade, and then make them discard. That's what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to discard the card in their hand. Ooh, we made them discard. Oh, was that a creature? No, it's just a phase 3 Dark Trooper. Okay. Reasonable, huh? Let's go ahead and play a Luke and kill their Django. They put a bounty on something with the client so that they could get rid of the shield off of Podameron. We draw ourselves another Luke, which I like. I think I just get rid of this force throw. Django Fett, huh? Let's just go ahead and attack. Let's discard the Luke's lightsaber to deal 2 to the client so that we can get rid of the shield token. And then we will just go ahead and kill the client here so they can't just continuously put bounties on our stuff. That's a Dengar. Let's go ahead and put a Luke's lightsaber on the Luke Skywalker. So he's healed, shielded, and all the good stuff. And let's claim initiative. Devotion here. Don't need to resource anything, honestly. We just attack the base here. Discard the Concord Dawn Interceptors to kill the Dengar. And then we just don't do anything else. That is a Kylo Ren, huh? Let's put a Devotion on the Luke. That's a guild target. We're going to go ahead and hit them for 10. And now they have to take initiative, but we're going to Rivals Fall kill the Kylo. And I mean, this game was honestly a little scary. Like, our opponent got to ramp to absurd levels, okay? Like, this is not something that was like, oh, we just did our thing. Our opponent did nothing. They ramped 3 on the turn that boss came down. That was crazy. And then they got to Crate Dragon us, but because we had Podameron, because we had Luke, because we had all that stuff, we were able to outvalue them. The pillages were doing major work because we got rid of the assault, the Arquitans assault carrier, which would have been kind of devastating. We didn't really have a way to deal with that one. And then we just had the Lukes to kind of clean up. And well, they played some massive threats. I like the client Django Fett kind of synergy. Playing the client here, a little bit risky because it is 5, but they get to put a bounty on anything. The Crate Dragons coming down, they had the Maul, they had a Kylo Ren. We had to fight through a lot there, but we still ended up getting there. Pretty sweet first game. I liked what our opponent's doing. They got to ramp 3, which is awesome, but we also got there. Actually, it was 4, because they ECL'd Super Laser Technician with the price on your head. Got to deploy boss, kill my other thing, double claim price on your head for 4 total resources on turn 3. It was turn 3, man, and they had 8 resources. It's like, what? Anyways, that was pretty sweet. On to the next. Into our next matchup, we got ourselves a game against Hunter Yellow. I'm not really sure what to expect here. I'm kind of interested in keeping this Queel and then just go Concord Dawn Interceptors afterwards. So that's what I'm going to do. Just go Queel and then play the Concord Dawn Interceptors. Give us a nice kind of like space, what's it called? Space, ground, coverage. They're playing an Omega, and that's just like a bad card. It's a 2 resource 2/2 that draws you a clone. So I'm not really that scared of it. I probably will just kill it, to be honest. I mean, honestly, we could potentially just ignore it, but I am interested in kind of keeping the board relatively clear, so I think that I will just go ahead and kill it. What is our opponent up to? I don't think our opponent's got anything. Okay, Force Throw could be good here. This is where our Forces with me is going to be pretty irrelevant because we don't have any Force units. And I don't really want to be like the Forces with me on Queel or anything like that. Play a Star Viper and look at that. Concord Dawn Interceptors just absolutely hosing the Star Viper. Love it. Drew ourselves a Yoda, a Kanan, and a K2. Okay, in this spot, K2 is going to be the weakest because we could set up for some Force synergies with playing a Kanan here. Or we can play a Yoda, give it a shield token. But I think I just want to go with the upside of playing the Kanan. If they do anything to kind of get some value, like discarding something to the Concord Dawn Interceptors, or to pump the Star Viper with Echo or whatever, then we are kind of okay with that because we can just Tarkin Town it away afterwards. Let's go and play Kanan. They played Spark of Hope. They're ramping a little bit. Their leader comes down one resource after us, so I mean, this is totally fine. They have a lot of cards in hand, but so do we. I think this Yoda is looking kind of whatever. We have so many options. Force Throw plus Pillage this turn looks pretty nice, but so does Podameron, to be honest. I think it really depends on what they end up going here. I think I like just playing out a Podameron. Like, that's just tough for our opponents to deal with. Okay, they have an Echo. We can always Force Throw ourselves and kill this Echo. They don't have anything to get rid of. Okay. I'll just kill Echo then. That's fine. And I will just play a Podameron. If they get down another card here, then I am more interested in pillaging and Force Throwing because we can get rid of every card in their hand. But I'm just going to play a Podameron, attack with Queel, attack with the Concord Dawn Interceptors, and then pass. And I mean, we have a million cards in hand. We have an amazing board state. We could deploy Luke this turn. We have so many options. This game is kind of just over, to be honest. They can get down a Hunter, but it just gets one shot by Podameron, and Podameron doesn't even die. Okay, Han Solo, not bad. Let's go ahead and... Do we want to play an Obi? I kind of like just playing Obi-Wan. This just allows us to give a shield token to the Obi here. And if they attack the Obi-Wan with Hunter, then we can just kill Hunter and give a shield token to Obi-Wan, which is kind of nasty. Yeah. That is rough for our opponent. Just give a shield token to Obi-Wan, get rid of Hunter. Now we can just attack into their base. Attack, 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 and then pass. Rivals Fall looking pretty good. Devotion kind of not necessary, but A-Wing's also kind of whatever. Like, we just have so much power in our hand. We could probably safely get rid of this Devotion. I mean, they can attack my Obi-Wan with Han Solo, but it doesn't even kill Obi-Wan. And then we can immediately attack with Luke and give it another shield token. When you set up Obi-Wan plus Luke, it is really hard to get through. Getting a shield token on your Sentinel every turn, and this Sentinel being not only just someone that has decently high power, but also something that gives you something when it dies, is just crazy, to be honest. It is just really good. I think our opponent's just gone in this game. Like, they could play a home one. Like, let's say if they had a home one. That's like a really good card. Tech comes back. We don't even care about that, and we just attack their base through and through, and then we just Rivals Fall the home one, and they're gonna go ahead and play a Chewie, huh? All right, let's just attack with the Concord Dawn Interceptors to see if they want to do something else afterwards. I can Force Throw myself. Yeah, let's go ahead and Force Throw myself, discarding Obi-Wan to kill Chewbacca. Keeping the Rivals Fall in hand, because we have better options. Okay, we're just going to hit the Echo Base Defender with the Kanan. They're trying to put up Sentinels so that we are like unable to put another shield token on the Obi-Wan. They're reverting to a prior turn. Really? All right. Let's do the same thing again. Kind of strange. I don't know if that's really like I think that you should just accept the the actions that have been made, especially when like you saw the whole turn play out. Oh, they're doing the same thing. I guess it's kind of whatever. And they didn't attack with the Han Solo, I suppose. So that is slightly different. But it's not like it matters. Like I don't think like any of this matters really. Let's attack with Luke, get a shield token to Obi. All right, they went to the same thing. That's fine. They went with the little exact same place. They must have misclicked or something. Let's attack with Queel, attack with this guy, play a A-Wing, play a Sabine Wren, just get as many bodies on the battlefield as possible. You can go on and resource this Sabine Wren, and Obi-Wan still has a shield token. We have, well, 4 damage in space. We got ourselves a Luke. I mean, pillage wasn't even necessary this game. Like, our opponents, they're trying to play the clones, and I respect them for that because I also like clones, but it is not really doing too much here. U-Wing reinforcements, let's see what they can get. I suppose they can get like a Luke if they have a Luke, which would kill Obi-Wan, but it would pump up our Luke, and we could just one-shot them. If they kill Obi-Wan, we kill them. Looks like they got Echo, Base, Defender, and Echo. Cool. Cool. We could just play a Luke here. They're putting some experience on Han. That's fine. We'll just play a Luke, kill their Echo Base Defender. And I mean, we could have even Tarkin Town the Han, which I probably should have done last turn, to be honest. But that's okay. Okay, they are definitely dead. They're gonna get a Marauder. Sure, it doesn't really matter. We'll attack, get another shield token on Obi-Wan. They can hit Obi-Wan, but it doesn't matter. We have approximately 1 million lethal threats, and that's gonna be a good game. Yeah, pretty nice from our opponent. A little bit of clone action. Basically like a Han green list, but with clones instead. Like you're playing Echoes and Omegas. Or a Han green list. It's I think Omega is just super weak, and I think like playing tech is like okay. If you're trying to do the tech DJ combo, that's fine, but it's really only amazing in Han good in Han because you can actually get the resources to do it earlier, and you can defeat it to make sure it doesn't come back to your opponent. But like, you know, reasonable. Interesting stuff from Hunter Yellow. On to the next. Into our next matchup, we got ourselves a match against Double Blue Gar Saxon. I like Pillage, and I really like Ketsuonyo, and we even have Force Throw plus Yoda. Let's just start off with the Ketsuonyo and see what our opponent is going to be doing over there. Let's go ahead and claim initiative, and we are just going to go ahead and, well, attack their base with Ketsuonyo. If they want to put like a shield token on the Viper Probe Droid or whatever, that's their business, but we're just going to attack first because I imagine they're going to want to deal with Ketsuonyo with the Probe Droid. Yeah, we can defeat an upgrade off of the Viper Probe Droid. Again, they're probably going to want to trade here. That's my guess anyways. Okay, they're going to Brutal Traditions. All right, let's play Yoda out, and now if they want to kill Yoda, we can, well, just claim initiative here because now we get to attack their base, defeat the Brutal Traditions, and with Ketsuonyo. So that ends up working pretty nicely for us, honestly. I like that one a lot. Let's go attack their base, defeat the Brutal Traditions, and that kills their Viper Probe Droid. That's an Embo. Let's go ahead and play a Kanan, because next turn we can go Pillage plus Force Throw, which I like. And let's see if they have some sort of upgrade to play. Doesn't look like they necessarily do. Let's go ahead and resource this Queel. They're going to attack the Ketsu. Sure. Let's go ahead and pillage them. Make them discard a couple cards. And then hopefully they're going to keep their turn. So the way I'm thinking about this is we pillage first. So they discard some cards. Then they're going to go ahead and play. Oh, I guess they could. I guess they could play the double Brutal Traditions from their discard pile, so that's kind of cool. But I was thinking that, like, okay, we'll Force Throw them, if they have some sort of thing to force throw, hopefully we can kill whatever they play here. If they play another Brutal Traditions, we can just Tarkin Town the Embo. Okay, they're kind of going crazy. We're gonna now Tarkin Town this Embo. And we're just gonna attack their base here. I don't actually see a reason to like trade my Kanan with their Embo, because we can just let them do that. Cargo Juggernaut, huh? Well, let's go ahead and play a Jedi Lightsaber on Kanan here. So now we have a big Kanan. And now we can go ahead and flip Luke by them trading there. That's really unfortunate for them, because now they can't deploy Gar Saxon. Why? Well, because it just dies to Kanan. And now we can get a shield token over on Kanan. So I don't think they should have attacked with Embo there into our Kanan. I think that was, I mean, I guess they were worried that we were going to attack their Embo with Kanan, but that's a little bit risky for us as well. I mean, this is just crazy. Like, this is, Ketsu Onyo did so much work this game. The Brutal Traditions, Pillages did nice work as well. Looks like Double Vigilance got discarded. I suppose they could Vigilance my Kanan, which would be pretty nice for them. But we have Forces with me. I can go ahead and resource this Poe. They're going to power the dark side, huh? All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this Kanan. Let's just Luke their Cargo Juggernaut. And we are in an amazing spot yet again. Let's go ahead and attack their base. Give a shield token to our other Luke. And now they can play whatever they want. It doesn't matter. We just attack with Luke again. They can play double Brutal Traditions. And they attack our base for 7. Doesn't matter. We just kill them with our Luke. So pretty nice value game that game. Pretty straightforward. The Ketsu Onyo did some major work there. I'm a little bit surprised that they did not just go ahead and kill the Ketsu Onyo. I was thinking that, like, oh, if they kill Yoda here, or if they kill Ketsu, I could just Tarkin Town their Viper Probe Droid, and that's totally fine. And then I can force throw them with Yoda. But the way that worked out actually worked out better for us, because we were just able to attack their base and just defeat the upgrade, which ended up killing the Viper Probe Droid as well. So Ketsu Onyo ended up kind of just doing some work that game. On to the next. Into our next game, we're against a Vader Green. Now, this is kind of the mid-range / ramp style of deck that we're going up against. So we're really looking for force throws, pillages, that type of card. So even though this is like a fine hand, I think we could actually do a lot better. Unfortunately for us, we mulligan into a significantly worse hand, to the point where it is like absolute garbage. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But it is what it is. Probably should have kept the first hand. I felt like we could do a lot better. They're going to pass, which means I'm just going to claim initiative, because they very clearly have something along the lines of price on your head. This turn we can go R2. We'll top a force throw. I do like force throw in this matchup. And we're going to go ahead and give R2 a shield token. We are... Ooh, Incinerator Trooper, huh? Okay. I'm a little bit surprised on Incinerator Trooper. I could force throw this turn, but I don't really want to. I'm not really interested in force throwing this turn. I feel like we can get in a little bit of a better spot. Let's go ahead and just attack in with R2 here. Bottom and A-Wing. A-Wing's kind of like meh in this matchup. They have Incinerator Trooper. They could go Snow Trooper Lieutenant, kill our R2 for free, which would be kind of cool. They have a Super Laser Technician. We're going to play out a Kanan. And they might do 1 damage to something and 1 damage to our base. They could deal 1 damage to the Super Laser Technician if they wanted to, although I don't think that's really the correct option here for them. Next turn, if we draw like a pillage, we could do some major work, which would be awesome. Let's just claim initiative here. And that's a Luke's lightsaber. I do like Luke's lightsaber in this matchup. The question is, do I want to force throw this turn over playing like a Podameron? I think I do. I think I just want to force throw. And if they have anything more expensive than 1, then we just kill their Incinerator Trooper, which ends up working out pretty nice. So let's go ahead and do that. Wow. They have a Silencer. What a crazy card, huh? All right, well, they silencered us. Let's attack in for 1 here. Crate Dragon, like Crate Dragon. All right, wow, they didn't play the Silencer. I'm kind of surprised at that one. Attack in for 1. We are just going to claim initiative. Very weak couple of situations for us, to be honest. I could have forced throw it again, but I feel like we can do a lot more work next turn here, so I'm just going to sit around for that. Oh, they're going to price on your head over playing a Silencer. Ooh, I like forces with me. I think I just get rid of this Podameron here, and then just go all in on Luke. They do have ECL, so they could ECL Kylo. They could ECL. I guess they have Vader. They could maul me. Ooh, maul would be pretty bad. Let's attack with R2 first. And if they deploy Vader, we can Rivals Fall. Maul would be pretty bad for us. Okay, they're going to go with Incinerator Trooper. I feel much better about deploying Luke this turn now. Ooh, are they going to get down a Darth Vader here? Oh, brilliant. Rivals Fall the Darth Vader. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And now if they play something else, there is a very good chance that I will just take initiative to try to protect my Luke here. Because again, the thing that I'm worried about with Vader is like Mauls, Kylo Ren's being ECL'd. What are they going to do here? Going to hit 2 and 2, huh? I'm just going to claim initiative. There's not really any other thing that I would want to do here. Another Rivals Fall looks pretty good. We're getting closer and closer to Crate Dragons. I think I'm just going to start off by force throwing. So let's force throw our opponent. They can get down their own Crate Dragon here. And it is a 10-10, so that's something we have to keep in mind. What we can do is... they discarded Kylo Ren. Ha, they might be playing my list. We can Rivals Fall their Crate Dragon. Well, no, they're not playing my list. They have Incinerator Troopers. Okay, they're ECLing. Let's just Luke's lightsaber Luke here. I don't know if they probably tried to ECL, but they didn't have a thing that was 6 or less. They might have tried to like ECL a Crate Dragon, or like, I don't know, a Reinforcement Walker or something like that. Okay, yeah, they tried to ECL out a Jabba's Rancor. Makes sense. They can't ECL out a Jabba's Rancor. Cool. We could just get forces with me, so we ended up, kind of avoiding the damage with the shield token. Now we forces with me. We kill the Jabba's Rancor. And now we have a 9-powered Luke on the battlefield, which is kind of nice. We have Rivals Fall if they play a Crate Dragon next turn. Everything's kind of looking pretty good for us here. We can't Crate Dragon next turn. Did I say we can Crate Dragon next turn? We cannot. Our opponent's got to draw some nice options here. They're playing a ramp deck. They almost certainly have. Okay, they just conceded. I was gonna say they almost certainly have Crate Dragons and such. I don't actually think that we were like hard winning that game. If our opponent draws Crate Dragon, for example, they play a Crate Dragon, we Rivals Fall it. Okay, great. They hit our Luke for 6 probably, or hit our base for 6. We attack them for 9. We pass, or we pass after they claim initiative. They play another Crate Dragon, and it's like, okay, well, if we play our own Crate Dragon, like, that's okay. I mean, I guess we hit it with Luke and we Tarkin Town it, so maybe that's like not good enough. Of course, they could draw like Timely Intervention, Crate Dragon, right? Which would be, you know, killing Luke and stuff. There's options. I feel like that we weren't like insanely far ahead, but we're decently ahead. I don't know. We'll see. On to the next game. Or I guess we won't see. On to the next game. Got ourselves a matchup against Double Red Sabine here in this next one. And this is kind of an odd hand, but it's definitely not something I want to mulligan. I'm going to resource one of the Devotions and one of the Pillages. Pillage is definitely not a card that I'm extremely excited to see in this matchup, but it can be reasonable if you're in the right position for it. So we just have to kind of see where we're at with the game, honestly. R2 probably could be resourced here. I'm definitely going to go with the Concord Dawn Interceptors. If they play like Wing Leader here, we can finish off the A-Wing with our Tarkin Town. Concord Dawn Interceptors, get that, you know, nice 3/4 Sentinel, essentially. I'm surprised I don't see Tarkin Town here instead of the Catacombs of Kadera. Whenever I play Double Red Sabine, I really like Tarkin Town, mainly because if I'm getting to the point where... interesting. Yeah, let's just attack their base. If I'm getting to the point where I... like the base HP is a problem, I'm probably losing anyways. Another Devotion drawn. I think I could just resource that one. Rivals Fall, not exactly extremely strong here. Pillage is pretty weak in this spot. Let's see what our opponent's got. See if they decide to attack Sabine here. If they do, I think I just Tarkin Town the Fighters for Freedom immediately, just to prevent them from dealing additional damage whenever they play a card this turn. They play an Aggression, huh? Okay, they're going to draw a card and deal a damage to the Concord Dawn Interceptors. So I like the play that I made there. I think that was a good play. They're going to ready up Sabine, attack for 3, attack for another 3. They dealt some damage to us, no doubt. A-Wing, kind of whatever. I really, really would like to Devotion, but this is like, maybe I shouldn't have resourced the A-Wing. We're just going to have to go in with the Devotion on Kanan and hope to kind of just restore a lot. Ooh, Disabling Fangfighter, what a card. Let's attack into Sabine, get some damage in on it. Rivals Fall is a card we have, but I probably shouldn't have resourced the A-Wing, to be honest. They have a Ketsuonyo. They're going to attack us for more damage. Rivals Fall, not a good card here. Wow, we are not drawing particularly well here. Let's just go ahead and attack Sabine. We could Pillage, but I'm not really excited about Pillage. Red 3, huh? All right, let's get down Luke. And then I think, I mean, we could Rivals Fall the Red 3. They're going to attack in for 4. Yeah, let's Rivals Fall the Red 3. Maybe I should have done that first. They have another A-Wing, huh? Ugh. And a Heroic Resolve. Wow. What a couple of cards to play. They attack for 4. Another 3. So we're in trouble. We are in major trouble. Luke can kill off Disabling Fangfighter. The Disabling Fangfighter is really powerful in this game. Let's attack with Kanan first. We restored only 1. That's a little unfortunate. And now we're just dead. There's nothing that we can really do because they can just Heroic Resolve attack. Good game from our opponent. GG. Our opponent just kind of got there. The aggression was kind of nice. The key there was the Disabling Fangfighter on the Devotion. It's one of the reasons why I keep saying you guys should be playing Disabling Fangfighters here. Maybe that's the reason why we shouldn't be playing Devotions. We also just had a really awkward hand, you know? We drew into double Rivals Fall, which is not good in this matchup. We had the Pillage, which is kind of like whatever. If I kept the A-Wing, maybe that would have, you know, kind of changed things. And I think that was a mistake for sure. But I don't even know if we would have survived regardless. We just drew into kind of our expensive half, and we didn't draw into like the Quills of the world, or the Yodas, which is what we were really looking for. And force throws would have been amazing, because like if we force through, you know, a bunch of random cards, then that could have given us a lot of value here, potentially. But nice curve from our opponent, and we just kind of weren't prepared for it with our hand for sure. So pretty good stuff. On to the next one. Into our next match, and pretty expensive hand against Han Green. This usually, oh my gosh, the triple force throw draw. You know, it's, we're gonna commit. I don't think this is good. I don't think you should be doing this, but we're gonna be doing it because it's a meme. Okay, it is a meme, and I am excited for it. Okay, you know what? We're going all in on non-creatures. Play a Yoda. Let's see if they ECL out something. Let's just claim initiative. Oh man, that is hilarious. We're just gonna go with the Omega Force Throw situation. Benthic 2/2s. Okay, so they are the aggro deck here. This is going to be funny. Let's force throw our opponent. They discarded a Marauder. Okay, let's just kill the Echo Base Defender. Now they're probably going to attack with Benthic 2/2s. They could ECL something out as well. And it looks like they are. So they have like a K2 or something. So that's pretty good for them, no doubt. But now we get to go Tarkin Town on the Cassian. They only get to attack for 2 this turn. And then we do get to force throw our opponent for their last card in hand. It is another Marauder. And then we pass. What a sequence, I'll say. What a sequence. All right, let's go Kanan. Ooh. All right, well, we'll force throw our opponent again. Oh, we got rid of the other K2. Oh, man. Like I said, I do not think that that was the play. What? What was that? That was a weird bug. That's a weird bug. All right, well, let's just do the turn the exact same as we had done it before. Yeah, I could just do same turn. That was a weird bug where they deployed the Han, and it killed the Benthic 2/2s. Because they deal 3 to us, we force throw our opponent, get the K2, then they deploy Han, and then we claim initiative. Oh man, that was this whole situation was pretty funny. Okay, so A-Wing gonna go into the resource pile. Let's just go ahead and ready up a Luke, and then I guess we could play Devotion on Luke. Wow, they're gonna hit us for 7. Jeez, kind of brutal. Let's go Devotion on Luke. They're gonna attack us for 5. Play a Kanan. We're gonna restore 2, get a shield token on Kanan. What do they got here? They have to have something pretty good. Oh man. I said this at the beginning. I don't think this is a good hand. I just felt like it was a little bit of a meme. Let's go ahead and do we want to kill Cassian, or do we want to kill the Benthic 2/2s? So we attack for 2, then attack for 5. I think we kill Cassian here. They're going to claim initiative. We're going to pass. We draw ourselves another Kanan. Not exactly an exciting one. Let's hope this restoring is going to help us here get through this turn. Attack with Benthic 2/2s to start them off. I guess they could have something crazy. Little rebel aggro over here. Maybe like a modded cohort. Modded cohort doesn't really do much, to be honest. So that's not really that good of a play. They definitely, from what I'm seeing here, attack with the benthic 2 tubes. And we attack with Luke, get a couple restoring going. Then they attack with Han. We kill their Han. Oh man, we got unlucky. We needed to hit a 2 HP thing because now they can claim initiative and get us. All right, guys. This is not how you should. Oh, they played a black one. I mean, I'll claim initiative. It's very likely that we still lose. Yeah, man, if we just hit a 2 HP thing that we could have hit, like, it would have been so good because we could have rivals fall the black one and then, oh man, it would have been so good. Oh, we hit, of course, the benthic 2 tubes. Awesome. All right, cool. GG from our opponent. That was not a hand I recommend keeping. I guess we mulligan into it, right? Did we mulligan into that? And actually, I don't remember. But anyways, if we mulligan into it, that's not a good hand. I wouldn't recommend keeping that hand. I was just doing it for the meme. Yeah, it was funny, but don't do that. We would have had a chance though if we had hit a 2 aspect unit or something. And they do have quite a few of them, but it looks like they also have the benthic 2 tubes and the stuff going on. So, you know, whatever. That was funny. On to the next and probably final one. On to the final match, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We got ourselves kind of the mirror. I'm going to keep the Queel. And I think I'm going to resource this Jedi Lightsaber and Devotion. The Rivals Fall is actually really, really good in this matchup. And I'm hoping I just draw into something on turn 2 that's going to give us something useful to do. Queel gives us another opportunity to draw into something good as well. We can play Force Throw on turn 2. This isn't like an amazing hand. I would have loved to have one of these like Devotion or Jedi Lightsabers be something a little bit more powerful. Okay, we drew ourselves into a Ketsu Onyo and an A-Wing. I like Ketsu a little bit better, but we're definitely just going to kill this Guardian here to start us off. And we drew into a K2. All right. Force Throw, huh? Well, we will discard a Rivals Fall. We will then play a Ketsu. And we might just give a shield token to it. I don't really care for trying to Force Throw at this point. I'd rather just get the shield token. Let's go ahead and resource this Queel. We can go ahead and get down Yoda plus a shield token now if we want, or just the K2. We can also go Yoda plus Force Throw. Okay, they're going to pass. Let's go Queel. Kind of surprised that they're passing here. Trying to figure out what they would have. Let's go Yoda. Let's go shield token. And we're just going to claim initiative. We don't need to do anything else. We're just going to... We literally just got a free Yoda shield token and got 2 damage into their base, and they did nothing? Weird. And we have the initiative now. Let's attack in with Queel. Hopefully we draw a red card. Nope. We have Force Throw, which could be potentially pretty good here. I'm trying to figure out what our opponent has. Mystic Reflection. Okay, I'm just going to drop a Poe Dameron. Guardian of the Wills, huh? All right, well, we're going to kill that. And I guess we'll pass. This is not usually how the matchup goes. I think our opponent's playing a little bit of a flavor. Ray Red, let's go ahead and resource this K2. If they flip Ray, we can Rivals Fall. We can also Pillage plus Force Throw. All right, let's, well, we could also just kill it with Ray. And then, discard a Luke's lightsaber to make them discard a card. Because we have Pillage, so we can take care of the other 2 once they play a card here. Ooh. Let's just Pillage our opponent. And, I mean, we are kind of in a ridiculous state at this point. They're going to claim initiative. We're going to flip a Luke. We are going to attack. Give a shield token to Poe Dameron. Attack with Yoda. Attack we don't need to defeat an upgrade, and we attack with Queel. I guess we drew a secondary pillage and our third pillage. You know, normally Obi-Wan's pretty good, but I think you should start. I mean, I guess they don't really have an option. Like, what are they gonna do? Let's force throw our opponent. We got a reckless gunslinger. Sure, I guess we'll hit the R2 for 1. We could hit with Ketsu, defeat an experience. I mean, this game is so over. We forces with me Luke into their base, give a shield token to, I guess, Queel. It doesn't really matter. We attack with Yoda, we attack with Queel, we attack with Poe Dameron, we discard a pillage, deal 2 to their base, we pass, and that's gonna be game. All right, that wasn't really how this matchup generally goes. It looks like they're trying to play some more Force-centric, like Jedi Lightsaber, Guarding the Wills, Mystic Reflection style. That's not normally what you are gonna see in Rey Red. Usually it's gonna be a more consistent baseline. Trying to play Guardian of the Wills is very difficult, and I don't even like playing Jedi Lightsaber too early, especially now in like today's meta. Mystic Reflection also is more of a sideboard card in my opinion. I like this. This is a little bit of a spicier, like, I'm gonna go Force, okay, and I want to go all in on Force, but it's not normally what you see on Rey Red, so that wasn't really a fair kind of versus. Even though I was like, oh, it's Rey Red at the end. Usually also they're running Tarkin Town as well, which would have been good on the Queel even. But I mean, we did it. We did work with Luke today, not gonna lie. But yeah, that was fun. Let's talk about the deck in our final wrap up here. Okay, so what have we learned with Luke Red? Well, we have a lot of fun. There were some meme hands, there were some kind of like awkward draws, but overall, the Luke Red performed very, very well. The kind of same base level of playing your pillages, playing your force throws, basically in any sort of force-based red deck, just force throw was already really good. Pillage, the new addition, it works well with Chirrut Red, it works well with Luke Red, it works well with Rey Red, and that kind of makes up the core. There are some matchups where Pillage is pretty bad. You saw against that Sabine Red deck where Pillage didn't really find its place. We had a kind of an awkward draw that game. But force throws end up being really good. Ketsuonyo kind of wins games on its own sometimes. Queel also just super high value. The other 2 drops are kind of fillers. The rest of the deck kind of like Concord Dawn Interceptors, really just filler pieces, kind of giving us a little bit of support. Same with K2, Poe Dameron. The Yoda, Kanan, Obi are kind of the core of the deck, alongside the force throw and pillages. Rivals Falls, exceptional. You saw it many, many times there where we defeated like Vaders, we defeated Reys, we defeated whatever we wanted. Luke, Crate Dragon, the finishers of the deck, really, really solid. Honestly, really, really overall performed nicely. I think in general, the devotions, well, in some matchups, and I actually found them to be pretty good when I was testing the Luke Red, ended up kind of underperforming here. And that was mainly because we saw Disabling Fang Fighters, we saw Ketsuonyos, and like all those kind of hose the main deck devotions. I don't mind Luke's lightsaber and Jedi lightsaber because those usually come down when we're deploying Luke, or we have like already a board state developed and we can kind of use them after your opponent's used our resources. But devotion's in a kind of in a situation where you want to get it down so that you can get those restores in early to prevent getting overrun by aggro. So I'm not really convinced by the devotion here, but everything else kind of fulfills a role here. The overall deck performed nicely, and I do like Luke. I do like the shield tokens. It can get you some massive values sometimes. I think that Rey Red, on average, the experience token is going to be a little bit more valuable, but Luke, his flip can be just oppressive sometimes. The restore is a lot better against aggro though, in Rey's case, and that gives her the edge, I think, overall between the Luke Red versus Rey Red. This is a little bit of a different flavor, but it's a very similar archetype, and you're going to kind of have the same plan. It's just that you get to have Luke and shield tokens versus Rey restoring and experience tokens. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hopefully you enjoyed, guys, and thanks for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.